under my thumb, the Rolling Stones, going into the military hour. So here we are this morning, military hour. Want to introduce Tim Stockinger of Warrior Watch Riders and Charlie Peace of Warrior Watch Riders. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Kerry. How are you, brother?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Now, let me start with Tim. You were going to enlighten us about the group commonly called WWR, and the real nomenclature is Warrior Watch Riders, correct?
Absolutely correct, Kerry, and I'm glad you put that out there. We're often confused with many other great organizations. We do like to clarify we are known as the Warriors Watch Riders. For those that have an interest, we're always recruiting. You can never get too many that try to do the right thing in a great community. If you got your pencils and paper ready, I'd like to go ahead and just get you started with that. For those that may have an interest in finding out more after this hour is up about the Warriors Watch organization, I encourage you to please go to warriorswatch.org. That is a national website. There you can have many questions answered that may get passed over today. For those that are local and have a sincere interest in joining immediately, I want to encourage you, and again, prepare a copy. For all those that have an interest locally, Bay County, if you will go to Northwest Florida, the letters November Whiskey Foxtrot, the letters Warriors Watch Riders, Whiskey Romeo, the letters Sierra Charlie at gmail.com. You'll get a local response. You'll get that response within a 24-hour period. We can have you signed up as a Warrior Watch Rider. You'll be receiving emails about upcoming missions, past missions, and any events going on in our community that the veterans community would be supporting. And we'd like to get you on board. Again, that address is Northwest Florida Warriors Watch Riders, SC at gmail.com. Again, my name's Tim. I'll be talking about the Warriors Watch organization. What we pride ourselves on is respect, and that's what makes us work the way we work. That's what gives us the pride that we walk around with. Without that respect, we just wouldn't have the game that we're after. With that said, it would be disrespectful not to recognize Gulf Coast State College and Kerry. Without the both of you, I mean, you give a voice to a community that would otherwise be a silent community. We appreciate that. Without folks supporting our organization, we're really just another organization, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Tim, and all the thanks really goes to Gulf Coast State College because they do have a heart for the military, and it's a good school. I've attended here. I believe you've attended here as well.
Absolutely.
And so they afforded this opportunity for the military community and families, and so we're trying to establish and will establish 1 hour, 9 until 10, 0900, 1000 hours, each day during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm doing Thursdays. We're still looking for volunteers. If you want to step up, free training, and trust me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But we want to make this ongoing and continual, and we're looking for better things out in the future. And I'm sure we'll have that, especially with these younger troops that are finally coming home.
Amen.
And because, quite frankly, just from my perspective, they're another greatest generation.
Absolutely.
These guys and gals really put it on the line. Well, I'm going to shut up, and we're going to do some more music, Three Without Me. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk with Charlie Peace next, but you know what time it is. Let's roll. It's all too beautiful. That's the Small Faces, Ichiku Park. And tell you what these fellas do, and lots of others around the area do, is beautiful too. We are back, Warrior Watch Riders. And Charlie Peace, you had something you wanted to share with the listening audience. What was that you were going to tell us?
Yeah, I just want to expand on what Tim was talking about earlier. I'm Assistant State Coordinator, and our Warriors Watch Riders, we are a veteran support group. we support the military, the fire department, the police, and EMS. So anything they have a ceremony or anything that they do, we also will render our services, whether it be a flag line, we have a bell that we can ring, and we also have a cannon to do a 3-round volley at any kind of ceremony we need to do. Riding a motorcycle is not required to be with us. Being in the military is not required to be with us. All that is basically required to join us and to participate is be a patriotic American that would like to stand and hold a flag in respect to a fellow serviceman, fallen or not. And that is it.
Well, what about dues? Do people have to pay anything?
There are no dues, there are no meetings, and there's no pressure. If you join us and show up at one of our missions next week and we don't see you for 2 months, there's nobody going to call you and say, "Where have you been?" We hadn't seen you unless we're just asking, "How are you?" We knew maybe there was a problem in the family. We would ask about that. But as far as participating, there's no pressure. Nobody's going to call you. Our email list is just where we send you a list of things that we're doing, and it's at your choice whether you want to join us and can participate or not. There'll be no pressure. Nobody's going to call you and say, "Hey, you need to come out," or "We hadn't seen you," or anything like that. It's a no pressure organization.
So it sounds like to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, as far as it goes for the public, is you don't have to pay any dues. You're not required to participate one time, 100 times, or however, as long as you have a heart for serving the veterans and the families, then you're welcomed, and you can participate when you can, and when you can't, that's okay too. Nobody's going to bug you. I want to make sure I'm hearing all this right.
You're exactly right. And also, I'm not a veteran either. I never served, so I do what I do with this organization to serve all my veterans that made it where I can be free today.
Well, I know I see you out and about. When I can make it, I go, of course, and you know that. And but I know that you are dedicated, as is Tim Stockinger and so many, many, many others. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Sarge. And
that's for sure. Sarge is our state coordinator.
Right, and there's some others. Boodog was an initiator and a founder a good while back. But well worth looking into Warrior Watch Riders. And let the listeners know, and the military family out there, the non-military families, what do they have to do if they have a loved one that is got a service, a funeral service or something coming up? How do they contact you if they want a flag line?
They can. Most of the funeral homes around here know us.
Right.
So we've got to have one of two ways of communication. The family has to contact us at the NWFWWRSC at gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
You can contact us through there, or you can have the funeral home request us, and they will let us know. But it's got to be one of those ways. If you have a family member that has passed that was in the military, and we would be glad to come out and do whatever service you would like us to do. We can do flag folding. We can, like I said, do a bell to gathering of the masses. We can do a cannon to do a 3-round volley. And all that, so we can do most anything the military can do, and are willing to do it. All you have to do is ask for it, or simple as just standing in a flag line when people come to the viewing or the funeral.
A great service for the families, and free, of course. There's never
free of charge.
Never a charge.
We do not take any money. We will not take any money. We do everything that we do is strictly through our own pockets. We buy our own water and things that we need when it's hot to take with us, and we buy our own flags. We are not an organization that takes any donation whatsoever.
You hear that, folks? They don't have their hand out looking for anything, but just come on out, participate, show your respect. And I've got one more quick question, then we're going to get back to some music. So if there are other groups, let's just say if Bay County High School kids or somebody wanted to come out, or the Boy Scouts or some other riding groups to a service and they got wind of it, can they also join in and participate?
On that note, everybody is welcome. We don't turn anybody away. All we ask you to do is show respect and use a little bit of common sense to whatever we're doing. Respect is the number one word.
Number one word, respect. You know what we're going to do now, don't you? We're going to have some more music. Let's roll.
Eras coming
So's the WWR.
Eli's coming. One better hide your
Tired of waiting? Well, we're not going to wait anymore to get some information on WWR. We are back with Brother Tim Stockinger. What else you got for us there, Tim?
Carrie, Charlie hit on a lot right there during that last little segment. He mentioned our veterans community, and if you're a Bay County resident, you know that we are veterans dense. When you throw in our law enforcement and our first responder community, I assure you there's never a shortage of honor in this county. We try to make ourselves known, and as Charlie mentioned, we cater to that. We look forward to it, but because of that, we had to learn very early on as we grew in the Bay County area that there's strength in numbers. We knew we couldn't do this alone. One organization couldn't do it alone. One of our first goals, and I can't thank them enough, we've drug in all of our veteran support activities in the county. We deal directly with all of our American Legions, all of our VFWs, all of our DAVs, you name it, we
And
bring them in.
vets. Oh, yeah.
Bay County Veterans Council, Veterans
Navy
Task
League.
Force in Northwest Florida. We can't do it alone. And even with all those resources and assets, we still solicit from the community. The community is what gives us our strength. The things that we do, a lot of people know that we do a lot of funerals, and Charlie mentioned that.
Right.
What they don't know is the good side of the house, where the fellowship comes in, where the socializing comes in. Americanism is high priority on our list, probably second to none other than respect. We found out that a lot of our youth are in need of the trainings, the teachings, the things that make America special. Those things have been neglected in a lot of community, and we try to bring that back. I get emotional when I talk about it, but if you get your 5-year-old son or daughter standing in an airport event with us when we're bringing back a crew from Afghanistan, and they hold that flag, we challenge them. We'll play a little Jeopardy with them. We'll challenge them. Let's talk about the colors. What do the stars mean? And usually there's a reward at the end of that. And not only does the son or daughter receive the reward, but the crowd that stands around and sees it unfolding. That's where the real reward comes in.
Yep.
So with all that said, I just want to make sure everyone understands that the Warriors Watch Rider is a very unique organization, and it's only because of the strength in numbers that this community has provided to us and the strength in numbers that we continue to hope grow in this community.
And of course, the deep respect we have for all our military, every branch.
Absolutely.
It goes without saying. A lot of us tease each other about the branches we were in, but we kind of earned that right to give each other a little grief. But it's all done out of respect and love for one another. That bond that's there, and something that I've seen taking place in probably the last year and a half or two is a lot of the veterans organizations now are beginning to coalesce and come together. And I'm not saying it's a kumbaya hug moment, but rather than being factioned off, a lot of us now, and of course, and everybody is welcome to do it, we're all participating together in a lot of the various activities and organizations. And I just think that is a good thing that's happening. And I could name several people around town that have kind of spearheaded that, but I'm not going to get into that because surely I'd leave somebody out. But they're people that we all know here in town, and we all have a tremendous amount of respect for.
I drop names, Kerry, and if I have left anyone out, I do apologize. I just got to be very clear on that. There is no one in this community that I'm aware of that supports the veteran community that is not willing to work as one for a common goal.
Amen. That's true.
Well, I'll interject in something I've heard you say many times, that there's no wrong way to do the right thing.
I like that.
That's, we do what we have to do. Sometimes we make mistakes, and we go back and fix what mistakes we've made and learn from them, but we're always out there trying to support our veterans and their families.
Well, I'll tell you what, fellas. I'm getting too old to make mistakes because this next song kind of says it all. Time won't let me, the Outsiders. Let's roll.
1, 2, 1, 2.
we are back with Tim Stockinger and Charlie Peace. What else are you going to share with us, guys?
Well, I'll share right now about some of the things that we've done here lately, especially for Veterans Day. We started off with a ceremony over at the mission, Panama City Mission, with some of our guys split off, and we did a flag line in recognition for the veterans at the mission, and then we rode the parade in the Veterans Day parade, and then after that, we left and had another part of the day we did over at Sims Veterans Home out in Callaway. It's a military veterans home, so we went out there and recognized all those guys, and then had a cookout with them. Now, also on that note, we do go the last Saturday of every month to visit the veterans at Sims. It's on their calendar of things to do, their monthly calendar. They know when we're coming. They love to tell us their old war stories and talk and joke with us and all that. And anybody who wants to join us, that would be the last Saturday of every month. We actually meet at the Dunkin' Donuts over there in Callaway, across from the Walmart. We call that our East End office. And we go over there and have a donut and a cup of coffee, and then we'll get on our bikes or cars, and we'll ride in a line with our flags going and ride over to Sims and go visit with these guys for about 45 minutes to an hour. We go in and try to talk to whoever we can, and those that are awake and those that are willing, and if we don't get in the way of their poker game, because at around 10 o'clock, if they're playing poker, they'll shun you. They'll just walk away from you. Won't even talk to you. I got to play poker. But
Yeah, I experienced that myself one day.
Yeah.
It's like they were done talking to me.
Something that we enjoy, it's something that they like to see us coming.
Yeah, and that's probably, bar none, one of the best facilities that I've seen for a veterans home that I've been into, and the staff is just wonderful. We've got some friends and brothers out there, and if you get a chance to go out there and visit these veterans, look at what's posted outside on their rooms, posted on the walls, and see some of the action that these men have seen. And of course, they're not going to brag about any of it, but true American heroes to a man and woman. There are also ladies there.
Yeah, like you're saying, outside of every door, every room that's there, there's a little shadow box that has some of the pictures and tells a little about the veterans that are in there and what they were and what they did.
Right, absolutely. Something that will warm your heart when you go out there. And if your heart doesn't get warm when you're visiting Chester Sims Veterans Home out there, then you might need to get a little shot to your heart. And for what it's worth, just for information, Chester Sims gave his life for his men, and he received the Medal of Honor, and that is why the facility is named after him. Chester Sims, Port St. Joe native. And Tim, you got anything to add to that, brother?
I'm just going to throw it in. That's where history, that's where we gain our strength. If we'll really take a look at our history, we talk to these men and women that have been there, done that.
Yep.
We can learn. If we'll just be quiet for a minute and listen, we'll learn from that. One of the mottos of the Warriors Watch Riders is that because of that history, never will another warrior be forgotten or scorned. We're there. We'll have your back at home. We'll have your family's back if you can't be there. That's all learned from history. Unfortunately, it's not a great part of our history, but it is part of our history.
But it's something that is changing, and that's why we say never again.
Never again, brother.
Never again. Well, you know what? We got some again for you. We're going to have some more music. Let's roll. Double vision. Well, we're kind of single visioned here. And I want to thank Tim Stockinger, Charlie Peace of Warriors Watch Riders for coming in this morning during military hour. What you got to close with there, brothers?
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about our organization, our members. It is not just a men's only organization. We have numerous women in our organization that, especially mine and Tim's wife, our spouses, are a lot of times behind the scene. But if they weren't helping us do what we do, it wouldn't happen.
Roger that.
Taking the pictures and helping out with dispersing water when we're standing in a 95-degree heat flag line.
Giving hugs, don't forget. Giving
Exactly
hugs.
right, buddy. It's just what it's all about. It's a very tight organization, and anyone is welcome to come. Man, woman, child, it doesn't matter. Our youngest member, I believe, is I think 6 or 7 years old, and our oldest member is I think about 85 or 90. So we don't shut anybody away, and as long as you're wanting to stand the flag line and welcome home a soldier or honor one as they're passing over, that would be a great thing to do, and we enjoy it. Now we do have contacts from the Navy base and Tyndall Air Force Base that let us know when they have troops coming in. Either from deployment or coming in to train, usually at the Navy base. They do training there, the divers and all. They'll let us know when they're coming in, and we go to the airport and we welcome these guys in as they come in from the various flights. And it's a neat thing that they don't expect it. They have no idea this is going on. A lot of them will try to walk right past us because they think it's for somebody else. And we say, no. Get over and go through this line. This is for you.
Yep.
And so it's a neat thing that we enjoy. And we base out of the Welcome Center that at the airport that is also manned by us, and it's truly a volunteer program there. And so, yes, we do lots of things.
All right. Well, real quick, Tim, give us a little bit of a recap on the Miracle Game, and if you have anything else about the Veterans Day at the Government Center, fill us in on that.
I got it, Kerry. I appreciate you bringing up the Miracle Game. If you've never really smiled, you've never been to the Miracle Game.
Absolutely.
My goodness, and everything was working in our favor yesterday. You were there, you saw the weather, you saw the bikes, and you saw those smiles. What we do is we bring them out. Frank Brown Park, obviously, is gracious enough to host, and they had that Miracle Field. We can get the wheelchairs out there. We can get the veterans out there. We play softball. We buddy up. And we have a good time, and then we all dine after it's over.
That is correct.
It's just a great deal. I'll recap a little bit on what Charlie was talking about. If you've ever watched our local news and you've seen those flags at an airport, we want to invite you. You could be one of those people holding that flag. Our Bay County, again, Veterans Council is also a gracious host. They'll allow us to use their Welcome Center. When these things go on, that's usually our staging point out there. We want to make sure that we include a big thank you to that. Please consider us. What I will offer you today, there is a bonus. If you were to sign up today to become a Warriors Watch Rider at Northwest Florida, wwrsc@gmail.com, I'll promise you this, you will be the recipient of a lifestyle change you never expected. You will never regret making that move. And we look forward to having the entire community on that email tonight.
Thanks, Tim, for not putting me on the spot earlier. He said he was going to put it out that I would give everybody $500. Well, that would land me in divorce court, and I love my wife, so I'm not giving away her money. But I do want to thank especially for the Miracle Game yesterday, everybody that came out, all the organizations that showed up, especially the folks from Sims. What big hearts they have. Kincaid Bus Lines, Domino's Pizza provided all the food. Warrior Watch Riders, Ben Rossa provided the water. Forgive me for that one, Brother Ben.
Law enforcement escort as well. And Publix donated the pastries. So thank you one and all for what you do for our veterans. And like Tim said, if you haven't attended and gone out to see the Miracle Game, held twice a year, spring and fall, go out there and you will get much more than you will be given because you'll walk away from there with a happy heart and big smile on your face. And guess what? You'll want to come back to the next one. A lot of fun. Brothers, thank you. Appreciate it. You know what time it is now, don't you? Time to move on. Let's roll.